Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I didn't really intend to make a video like this, but I do feel I need to speak out about an ongoing issue that's going on right now. The state of gaming is awful. As many of you may be aware, that PlayStation has recently announced they are ceasing physical production of discs as of 2028. Now, to a lot of you, this won't matter. A lot of you are happy with your digital downloads, and you know what? Absolutely fine. No problem with that whatsoever. But for me personally, and it's not just with PlayStation, it's with Xbox as well. They're no longer producing physical discs. And for me personally, I think this is a terrible thing. Hi, once again, welcome back to the channel, and I want to say thanks to everyone because I recently hit 31 subscribers and I want to say thanks. Now let's get on with it. Okay, so as I said, PlayStation, Xbox, they are both ending physical production of discs. No games will longer be physical, and I think it's awful, and for many a reason. Because of this, well, catchphrase I suppose you can call it. How many of you heard the saying, "You will own nothing and be happy"? No. First of all, I want to say this. I hate that, okay? I want to own the games I buy. I don't want a digital license. I want to own what I buy and pay for, because that's the whole point of ownership. You paid for it, you own it, you do what you want with that. In digital gaming, it's a bit different, or at least digital gaming on console. Anyway, I don't think this really applies to PC, at least not as much. But on console, you pay for a digital license that can be revoked at any time. So, for example, if you look into it, the old Forza Horizon games, for example, brilliant games, but you can't buy them on the Microsoft Store because they were delisted years ago because of trouble with licensing due to soundtracks and cars. It's the same with like Sony, how they recently delisted a load of movies. Like, I think it was like 504 movies they just delisted from the shop. And did they give people a just refund for that? No, they did not. They didn't give us any kind of refund whatsoever. They just delisted a load of movies, took your money and run. And that is despicable. And they can and have done the same with many games in the past. I mean, for example, if you look at one of their live service games from a few years back called Concord, total flop, terrible game, but they completely delisted it. Probably understandable, but the point is, even if you wanted to go back and see, oh, it was Concord really that bad, you can't because they delisted it from the store. So if you want to go back and check out an old game like that, when it comes to all digital future for that PS6, you're not going to be able to, because if games are going to be all digital, you're not going to have the freedom to pick or choose or go back if they've decided to get rid of something. Or what if you bought or even worse, what if you bought a really cool game and in a couple of years they decide to delist it from your library? Bye bye, thanks for your money, see you sucker. No, that sounds kind of stupid, but the thing is, that is how it's going to work. And I think it is despicable. They really can't do this. I mean, granted, they are doing this, but they don't really have the right or the say to, because ultimately, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, they don't run the show, guys, okay? We do. We, as the players, own things. We tell them what to do, not the other way around. I'm not saying, go off and boycott Sony or Microsoft. I'm not saying do that. But I will say, if you guys want to do that, I'm certainly not going to stand in the way, because it's wrong what they're doing. And I feel as a gaming community, we should stand up and say no. Now, many of you, as I said, won't care about this at all, because you're happy with digital libraries, and I'm not against that, that's absolutely fine. But hear me out. At least with physical, you get a choice between actual ownership and just some license that can be revoked anytime. Yeah, it's inconvenient getting off your bum to go over to your console, put a game in. I mean, what an inconvenience! Come on, guys, it's not that bad. Because, I mean, what is so wrong with doing that? I just don't understand. And I honestly prefer actually owning what I buy. Because all digital ownerships on consoles is not the same as all digital ownerships on, say, PC or Steam. That those storefronts aren't going to go anywhere regardless if your platform goes obsolete or not. In a, say, I don't know, say 15 years from now, when the PS6 has been out for years and they decide, oh, we're not doing this anymore, get rid of the PS6, it's obsolete. All those PS6s are just going to be complete e-waste because you're not going to be able to pick one up and play on it because it's all digital and the online store would have been closed. And it's terrible. I recently picked up an Xbox 360 from my local recycling centre, and yeah, it's obsolete, it's old, but you know what, I can still play on it because it had a physical media option. Just because the online store closed for that doesn't mean I can't play on it. But for future consoles, it's just not going to be the same. And I think it's terrible. I know I've said that like 5 times already, but I really think it's terrible. And this isn't just terrible for the consumer. It's also terrible for all these companies and businesses that sell games. For example, GTA 6 coming out this November. A lot of physical retailers refuse to sell it because it's all digital and the so-called physical version is just a code in a box. It's terrible. And you know what? They're going to make a killing on that game regardless because it's GTA 6. But I don't feel it's right. I mean, a code, you're going to pay 100 quid for a code in a box. That's just highway robbery, bro. That's just terrible. And also, I don't know if you guys realise this, but the end of physical media essentially means the end to places like, well, if you're in the UK, Game or CX, they're just going to go, because what are they going to sell us? Blank cases, no game. And I'm honestly quite upset about this because when I was like a kid, I used to go into like the shop, look at all the games on sale on the shelf in wonder, and on the rare occasion I'd ever get some money, I'd go to the shop and just pick up a game, and that experience was wonderful because you made a memory right there. And with no physical games anymore, you're just not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to have those memories. And I just think it's a terrible thing. The all digital future. And some people could argue, oh, Sony don't know what they're doing. They're going to backtrack on this. No, they're not. Okay, they're not going to backtrack on this unless we step up and do something, because they know very much what they're doing. And I know everyone's like, ooh, Xbox is rubbish. Why go with them these days? And I'm not saying do that because they are in a terrible state. But honestly, if you do the research, Sony isn't in a much better position at all. They're really not. They're losing money left, right, and centre. Because honestly, Sony used to. If you do the research, you'll know that Sony originally invented the PlayStation to sell more TVs. It's actually the other way around now. Sony sold off large parts of their TV division a couple years ago to focus purely on PlayStation, because they are losing so much money in other areas of electronics and software. So basically, Sony is PlayStation. That's their last gamble to be a successful company. And to be a successful company, the only thing they want from us, the consumer, is money. That's the only thing keeping them afloat, our money, guys. That's why, that's the real reason why PlayStation has increased in price so many times over the past year, guys. I think it's been like 4 price hikes in the past year. That is literally the only reason. Sony is not an electronics company. Sony is basically PlayStation, and they don't care about us, the consumer. They care about keeping their company afloat by rising prices. Same with Xbox, and even Nintendo. Because, well, definitely for Nintendo, I mean, Xbox is Microsoft, so they got all the money in the world, as we all know, but seriously, they're in a terrible shape. I mean, oh god, I think I'm not even going to go into it, because that could just be a whole separate episode, the decline of Xbox. An episode I don't particularly want to make, but who knows, maybe I'll have to at some point. But it definitely applies to Nintendo, because I mean, Nintendo is just a games company as well. Although I will give them credit, they haven't raised their prices too many times. And it seems right now they're the only company sticking to physical media. I'm aware the Switch 2 isn't for everyone, and personally it's not for me either, because it lacks a lot of social features and I can't just hop on and play with my friends, because my friends, like me, are young adults and we're not on Nintendo, guys. We're either on Xbox or PlayStation, we pick one. But I will give them credit for sticking to physical media. Nintendo, right now, I salute you. Well done. And yeah, I'm going to wrap this up now, because I've made my feelings quite clear. But I do want to make something else quite clear. Guys, if you want to sit back and just buy a digital license and watch your games go bye-bye in a few years because that license expires, you can do that. I'm not going to stand in the way and try and convince you that physical gaming is the way. You'll probably go, oh yeah, sure, Grandpa. Now let's take your vitamins. Now maybe that's fine. Maybe I am old for liking discs. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna own what I'm gonna buy. At least for the consoles I've already got. And what are you guys gonna do? Just sit back and let Sony and Microsoft delist your games when I'm done with them? Or stand up and say, you know what, I want to own my games. I don't want to own nothing and be happy. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, because honestly, if we step up and do something, we can stop this. There are like literal petitions online on Change.org that you can go to and put this thing to, well, you can at least fight it. I don't know about putting it to the end, but you can certainly fight it. And if enough people fight on, Sony will lose, because at the end of the day, we tell them what to do, not the other way around. It's time we stop being consumers and start being customers again. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and thank once again, because I recently reached 30 subscribers, and yeah, thanks a lot, guys, because you've really helped the channel by subscribing. By the way, I don't usually make content like this. I don't usually speak out about issues in the gaming industry. That's not really what my channel's about. But on this matter of well, no more physical games, I do feel quite strongly, and I do think we need to do something, because it's just terrible. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and have a nice day. Peace, guys. See you in the next one.